Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is Tuesday night, January the 12th, time for the 14 First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock. I'm glad you're here. I'm watching your comments on 14 News Facebook page, and we'll get to those here about halfway through the show. Well, we have some rain on the way after a beautiful day with 61 degrees. Now we have clouds and rain moving in overnight, and then temperatures falling during the day tomorrow, kind of the segue back to normal winter weather. Little reset as we were about, 20 degrees warmer than normal this afternoon. At the moment on the radar, we do have some light rain now showing up just out of the viewing area here. This will be up more toward Springfield. It's being detected by the Lincoln, Illinois radar here. I'll see if I can get it to trigger. And if we go to a broader view here, looking at just the composite radar picture. Now remember, composite radar will show all levels of anything, so a lot of this is not actually making it to the ground. That would be, but the lighter returns oftentimes are not. At any rate, we do have some rain moving in, and I expect most of that to overspread the region overnight tonight. So we're looking at probably after 11 o'clock and then continuing through the night and into the first couple of hours after sunrise tomorrow morning. Most of the rain should be well to our southeast by the time we get to noon or lunchtime. Then the north winds kick in, and it's going to be windy too. We could see gusts of up to 30 miles an hour, and that will put a wind chill back. So we'll start in the mid-40s in the morning, but by the afternoon, upper to mid-30s, and wind chills driving it down into the low 20s, bare minimum. Rain amounts with this event probably around 1/10 of an inch most spots, maybe a little heavier here in the southeast around Hartford and Greenville. And that then sets us up for a very cold Thursday, only up to 30 degrees. Friday, we make a brief recovery to the mid-40s, and then down we go through the weekend with high temperatures near freezing and lows all the way down into the teens by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And with any wind, we're going to see wind chills probably near zero at that time. Both the European and the GFS advertising some snow showers late Thursday night, early Friday, but no accumulation, and then maybe more flurries through the weekend as a couple of systems kind of spin through and across. And it will be cold enough for snow. If we do get any precip at all, it'll be snow showers or snow flurries. And then here come the clouds again early next week. Right now we have 56 degrees out there, still about 16 degrees warmer than the norm. Our winds are out of the southwest at 13, so that's still conveying that milder air up from the south. We were down to 34 this morning, and we will not get that cold overnight tonight with the clouds and the rain and the south breeze. And there's that 61 today. There were some spots like Jonesboro, 67, Springfield, Missouri, 68, so teetering on the brink of 70 there. Around the area, that 24-hour temperature change, we were about 15 degrees warmer now than we were last night at this time. And the temperature this morning was about 9 degrees above normal. The afternoon high, 20 additional degrees out there. So that means for our January calendar, we add probably our only 60 of the week. But already we've hit 60 or greater 5 times this month, which is a lot, really. And to not have any severe weather is really a miracle to get those temperatures and not get the weather with it. I guess we had a few severe thunderstorm warnings on, when was that, Thursday night and early Friday. So, but no widespread problems out there. January stats, we have rainfall right at the normal level, still quite warm. For the month, we're about 7 degrees warmer than the average. Our commute forecast, there may be a few lingering sprinkles first thing in the morning. Then we will have a slow clearing and a slow cooling through the afternoon. The system coming down, it's a big dose of Canadian air, and you can see that frontal boundary kind of traced out by where the rain is falling right now. That will continue to move to the south overnight tonight and tomorrow. And then behind it, of course, we have that colder, drier air moving in, which should scour out some of the cloud cover and help us to see some sunshine maybe on Thursday. Friday, then more clouds and maybe a few snow showers or flurries with that clipper as it zips through. and the GFS again showing that snow potential. I think we might see some accumulating snow in central Indiana and Illinois. That seems to be the best chance, but we're way down here on the fringes of that bullseye for accumulating snow on the GFS. Same for the weekend. And this is only set up to show where snow is likely. This is not an indication of how much will come down. I did look at those models, and maybe a quarter of an inch of snow, if that. So we're not really advertising accumulation at all here because we're not expecting any. European model also keeps us a little unsettled in a snow way through the weekend with some snow showers or flurries coming through. And then next week we get into a westerly wind, which hopefully will moderate the temperature a bit by the middle of next week. For tonight, I'm expecting a low of about 44 degrees, and then tomorrow we should start at about 44 and just continue to drop during the day. Temps will likely get pushed down, especially during the afternoon with those wind gusts of up to 30 out of the northwest. And then our 7-day forecast is looking pretty normal for January, especially next week. Of course, we have the holiday here Monday, Martin Luther King Day, with a 32-degree high. It's going to be pretty cold on that day, and certainly in those mornings with temperatures in the teens. Our temperature outlook is also cooler than normal, so maybe a little sanity check here on those 60s we had last week and today. And rainfall is now showing up as above average, which would indicate another round of rain likely there in the longer range. We've got Snickers back here. I need more pet pics. Otherwise, we're going to have the best of here. But anyway, we appreciate Amy Hilliard sending that in. We'll let Snickers snicker at me for a while. And while he's doing that or she's doing that, I'll check your comments here on Facebook. And what do we have? Well, we got a few of us in here tonight. Looks like, okay. Emma Rowland says, good evening. Shelley Allman's in there too. Cheyenne Hammonds, okay. Adam Rath, I noticed when I used the 14 First Alert radar, it looks different. Yes, they did an app update, they being the developers. Unfortunately, the app is out of my hands as far as development and what we like and don't like. Many of us within the company have argued for them to just keep the rather than have that future radar feature kind of meld into the current, because it's confusing. We would like you just to see up to this point and then have to go somewhere else to look at future radar. If you're talking about the color palette or color table, I'm not sure what to tell you there. You tell me what looks different. Maybe we can answer your question here while we're talking. Janet Stapleton says, good evening. Suzanne Daly, good evening, watching from Dawson Springs. It got to be Laura Gray, right? Shelley Allman, when do I think we're actually going to get some snow and accumulation? Well, I don't see it's going to happen this weekend. But, at some point, we're probably going to get some accumulating snow this season. William Raleigh, I see the GFS really went bananas. Yeah, as far out as the 23rd, 4th, dumps a foot of snow. And yeah, the GFS will often do that, and the European too. And for the reasons we've mentioned here before, when you're looking at a model more than about 3 to 4 days out, any small errors in the computations multiply. And so that's why you'll see crazy snow amounts if you look out, 300 hours on the GFS, the European, almost any of them, and, hurricanes and these incredible lows, because basically it kind of will latch onto a signal and go in that direction. So I would discredit, don't worry about it, William. Don't worry about it. If we got that, then there's bigger fish to fry. But yeah, those long-range models oftentimes will exaggerate quite a bit. Gail Hetrick, appreciate the updates in the process of moving and need to be on top of the weather. I'm not sure where you're moving to or from. That's always fraught anyway this time of the year, so hopefully your move will go smoothly. Other than a little rain overnight tonight, you should have good conditions for driving and moving here within the tri-state area. Maybe some snow showers or flurries Friday, but we're not expecting any other disruptive weather this week. Kim Sutton says good evening. Hello, and Sherry Lewis is in there. Ricky Brown, Damon Carmen. Well, we have a bunch of folks in here tonight. That's great. That's why we're here. You know, there's an appetite for some weather here at 9 o'clock. Did want to talk again. I've seen a lot of these, especially now that we have the colder air in place for the winter and the sky tends to be blue. They're contrails, those streaks of clouds you see across the sky caused by passing aircraft. And when the hot air comes off the jet engines, it causes condensation to occur. And that's where it gets the name, condensation trail. Typically, these contrails are only visible up at about 25 to 40,000 feet. And that's because the air at that level of the altitude is usually ideal, not usually, often ideal for these trails to form. But you do have to have some moisture up there, and you do have to have that super cooled temperature in order for it to happen. And we can forecast by looking at atmospheric soundings. You know, when a weather balloon goes up, it makes a diagram of the atmosphere. We can predict oftentimes where contrails may occur. And I'll tell you why that's important here in just a minute. But most of them are up there at 25 to 40,000 feet. If the aircraft descends or if it moves into air that is not as favorable, the contrail will disappear. So the pilot can't turn it off and on. It's like the tailpipe on your car. There's always going to be exhaust going out while the plane is in flight. But if the air changes around it, then you're not going to see that trail. And that's why you don't, like when a plane takes off from a runway, you don't see a contrail following it up. It typically has to get up into that super cooled air in order for that to appear. Upper winds, and now we're talking winds, you know, at 25 to 40,000 feet, will then shear out a contrail, which is why they don't always have the same shape. Sometimes they're nice and tidy and straight. Other times they kind of immediately dissipate. Other times they kind of look like cirrus clouds. And in fact, they are man-made clouds, cirrus clouds. But just water droplets up there, same as a regular old cloud. And they can do the same things that a regular cloud deck can do, like block out the sun and cause localized differences in temperature on the ground. Nothing insidious here or hazardous or nefarious. It's just physics and weather, and that's what the contrails can do. They sometimes can create optical illusions, like if the sun's over here and it shines, this is blocking the sun a bit, and you'll see what appears to be a dark or black trail across the sky, and that's simply the shadow of a contrail between the sun and wherever you're seeing the shadow. North and eastbound planes tend to fly at odd altitudes, while the south and westbound flights go at even altitudes. I don't know if that would really matter. It just depends on, I mean, they usually follow that protocol, but it can affect then which planes produce contrails and which don't. As I mentioned, contrails can be forecast, and this ability was discovered during World War II, which was the first appearance of contrails. It was the first time that we had aircraft that could get up that high, a pressurized aircraft that could then, and even propeller engines, still put off heat and create contrails. Well, you can imagine, you know, if you're putting out this big yellow or big cloud trail behind the plane, you are an easy target for ground gunnery. And so meteorologists during World War II had to determine areas where contrails would likely happen and not, and then route the Allied flights in areas where they would not be detected. But they were definitely seen during that time. They do occur all over the world. We have more flights in the air now than we ever have before, which is why you see more of them. If you're my age, you know, I mean, there were a lot of flights when I was a kid, but not nearly as many as we have today. And you would see the occasional, you know, contrail up there. But now I think at any given time there's like 5,000 flights over the U.S., especially during busy times. So if the atmosphere is right, you're going to see a lot of contrails. And as I said, they can be forecast with weather balloon data, all right? They're not chemtrail. It's not a thing. And so don't go down that rabbit hole or conspiracy theory, please. All right, let's see if we have any more questions. I don't think we do. Brenda Clemens, Philpott. Actually, Brenda, I'm going to be in Whitesville tomorrow at Whitesville Elementary School. So I'll be down in your neck of the woods talking to second graders, I think, about the weather. Okay, I think we've answered all the questions out there this evening. So I'll let you go back to what you were doing, and I'll have an updated forecast on 14 News at 10. Thanks so much for watching this streaming show and all the streaming shows that we do here on weather. Remember, we're on nightly at 9 p.m. and now daily at 2:30. And then Byron does one in the morning around 8:30 with the Sunrise Crew. That's just Monday through Friday. So we have you covered on streaming, and of course you can stream our newscasts, and you can get the 14 First Alert videos here to give you a little bite-sized forecast. All right, you stay safe. Have a great night, and thank you for watching.